Okay, my name's Todd Young, and I'm the director over the neighborhood. So Neighbors Helping Neighbors came together, a group of citizens came together in 2002, concerned about the proximity of all the different agencies. And in 2004, they got together and they purchased the Johnson Dairy, which is where we're at, the building that you're in right now. And in 2007, CARES and River City Harvest were the first ones to move in here. And then the dressing room was 2011. The community kitchen came in 2012. And then Clean Start was last in 2013. We really went out and asked them to join us in this effort. Pathways being the last one that just had to build out here in 2016, we were glad to bring them on as a partner in this. The concept of it is it's an easy place. 90% of our people that use this facility walk. So to have some place to come where you can get all your basic needs met at one place helps out a lot. There are things that we don't think about because we're not in a critical situation economically or in poverty that we just don't understand, and part of that's transportation. So this is just a convenient way to meet the needs of the people that really need to have that met. But as far as how we work here, it's a plus having not only everybody under one roof, but information is shared really quickly in this setting. Plus I know Lynn talked about the CARES card, but there's charity tracker there. So the interesting part about that is I don't have to tell my story at 7 different other places. Once you have the CARES card, let's take a woman that's been abused. She used to have to go to each one of these agencies, fill out the same paperwork, and tell her story over and over again. Now she comes in and does it once in the privacy of a private office, and then once she's in the system and she goes, let's say, to Shelter of Hope, all she has to do is show her CARES card and she doesn't have to say anything. She's in the system. So it's provided a lot of other outlets just for us being under one roof like we are.
My name is Lynn Childers. I'm the director at CARES, which is located inside the neighborhood. CARES is the main intake for not only the building, but the social services here in the Ashland area. If anyone is in need of services, they're generally directed to us first. I have 3 case managers who all have social work backgrounds. They assess the client, what their need is, determine if it's something that we can help with, or if further referrals are needed for other things. CARES helps with utility assistance. We do birth certificates and IDs. We help with emergency food. We can refer to one of the local shelter here in Ashland, as well as food pantries for long-term use. And then, like I said, ongoing case management. CARES actually started in 1990 as a phone number where people could call for resources, what resources available in the area. And it's grown to what you see today. We were nomads, just going from office space to office space, whoever could get it for us for free. And then the churches, local churches got together, decided that we needed it a centralized location, and of course CARES jumped at the chance to be in the building where with other agencies, because we were referring to these agencies. So rather than have people having to go 2 blocks that way or 3 blocks that way, it's across the hall, and that's how we ended up here. We were the first ones in. The building was actually still under construction when CARES came in, but we had lost the free space we had gotten. They had sold the building, so CARES had to get relocated and quickly. It is great. we're like I said, it's great. They actually call this they when they come in, it's CARES. We're trying to explain to them, no, we're not, the whole building isn't CARES, it's the neighborhood. CARES is just one entity in it, but it's going great. Last year we saw over 4,000 families come through just CARES for neighborhood cards, and then all the other assistance that I had stated before. I know you had to look. Neighborhood cards is what's needed to get services in the building. Rather than the person come here, fill out paperwork, and then have to go over to the dressing room, fill out more paperwork, or the kitchen or clean start. They do it all here. They get a card that has their name on it, and there's a little code that tells everybody, everybody around the building knows that has their, it's a code that tells how many people are in the household, what number that person is in that household, what their income level is, as well as their ethnicity, so that they can still do the charting that they need to do for like their statistics and their grants, but all the paperwork is kept here, and the client's not repeating the same thing over and over and over again. It's done one time, and that's it. We are proud to be unique, that Boyd County has this system. No, I know of no other county, city, anywhere, not just in Kentucky, but anywhere that has this setup where it's a one-stop shop. You come here, you do all the paperwork in one spot, you take your little card and you can go get clothing, you can go get food, you can get a shower and a haircut, mailboxes, and then of course Pathways is coming in. So if you're within their age group, you can go in there and get services for drug and alcohol. It's nowhere else. We are unique in that, and we need to be proud of that. So it works. It's working. I think it's really working well for the city as well, the churches as well. Because if someone comes to them and says, "I need a utility," well, go to CARES, and if they feel like we need further assistance, they'll give us a call, and that's how it works. They donate to CARES, and they can just send them, rather than what used to happen was duplication of services, where the client would go to this church, to that church, to that church, and get what they needed 3 or 4 times a month. It's a one-stop. It allows them to come here, and we kind of like he said, the gatekeepers. We control how many times somebody gets assistance, and I hate to say control, but we're able to monitor that so that we don't have somebody relying on us, because that's not what we're for. We're meant to be a step up, helping up, to help them understand what's going on, why they're not able to do this, or why they're not able to pay this, and that's what that long-term case management's for. So.
My name is Brittany Hobag, and I'm the Executive Director here at River Cities Harvest, and we are a food rescue organization. We basically have corporate contracts with Walmart and Kroger and Panera Bread here in the area, and we go on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays and pick up loads at River Hill Walmart and Cannonsburg Walmart. And we also have volunteers that go to Russell Kroger's and also Midtown Kroger's that bring in food here 5 days a week. We also get food from various other places like Tudor's Biscuit World, Little Caesars Pizza also donates food. And then of course we also depend heavily on our community. They do food drives for us, and all sorts of other various things, to bring in food for us. So we kind of act as the central warehouse. So Monday through Friday, we go out, we get food, we bring it in here, and then we have 39 different partner agencies that then come in here to get the food that we've rescued, and then take it to their church pantries or to their soup kitchens or their city missions, and then distribute it out through their programs. Last year in 2015, we actually rescued 600,000 pounds of food, which is a lot. Some typical days we'll do almost 6,000 pounds of food, each day, which is, like I said, it's a significant poundage of food that we get. Our biggest producer of food is Walmart. I think we did about 250,000 pounds from them last year alone. These companies are incentivized to give to us. You know, in the past, all of this stuff used to go to the trash. You know, before Feeding America came in and said, you know, hey, we need to stop throwing all this in the trash. We need to find another way to make use of this. And like I said, I'm sure you guys can see that a lot of this food is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it does have a life beyond, you know, beyond the trash. It is beautiful produce, but you know, whenever these retail grocers and things are getting new shipments of strawberries and new shipments of bananas and things like that in, all the new stuff has to go on the shelf and the old stuff has to go somewhere. So this is where organizations like River Cities Harvest steps in and sort of takes control of that food and then gives it a life after that. And so, you know, our 39 different agencies really benefit from that. And all of this produce is free of charge to our agencies. So this allows, you know, organizations that are church pantries and soup kitchens and things like that are on a limited budget to be able to utilize this food free of charge, and so that if they do have money, they can spend it on other things and not have to, you know, break the bank on spending it on food. Currently, River Cities Harvest serves Boyd, Greenup, and Lawrence County, Kentucky, and then also serves Lawrence County, Ohio. So we have a pretty wide reach. You know, like I said, 39 agencies is a significant swipe of people. You know, every month we actually get a new application for more agencies, and you know, we try to help as many people as we can. We have, like I said, we have our hands in a little bit of everything as far as who donates food to us. We even have the federal prison out in Summit, Kentucky, grows us a garden each year, and that produces about 60 to 70,000 pounds of fresh produce every year. So when we do have people who donate money to us, we actually pay for the seeds and the fertilizer, and then the prisoners participate in the Master Gardener program through Boyd County Extension Office. And so they're actually learning a skill, because most of these individuals are getting ready to be released within the next year or so. And so they're learning a skill, and so they provide us with free labor. And then we reap the benefits of 60 to 70,000 pounds of fresh produce, which is a wonderful resource for us, because it gives us the ability to have this fresh, locally grown, you know, food for our clients to have their hands on, because that's, you know, as we all know, it's the most expensive thing for you and I and everyone to buy, is the fresh stuff. And so that's a wonderful program that we are a part of, and we're so thankful that exists. So we love that one. And then we also have a cooking class that we partner with King's Daughters dietitians. There's some ladies over there that come over and volunteer their time and help us with the cooking class. So we offer it to anybody here at the community kitchen, also Shelter of Hope, Safe Harbor. We have people that come down and can participate in a 6-week class or a 3-week class. And then I think our newest class is going to be a 1-day class, and we're going to target whenever the tomatoes are rolling out of the garden. We're going to do a salsa and spaghetti sauce, and then how to freeze tomatoes. So we're going to be able to target, you know, what exactly to do with all of those tomatoes. Because when they come in here, they come in barrels. I mean, it's a lot of produce, and it's like, you know, what do you do with all of that? So we are going to do that next step and teach everybody, you know, how to do something with it. So, like I said, we have our hands in everything. So we do have our regular agencies, and like I said, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are typically our biggest days, because those are the days we pick up Walmarts. And like I said, they're our biggest donors. So we do have regular agencies that are scheduled to come up on those days, and those are our largest agencies, like Safe Harbor, you know, that are housing a lot of you know, domestic violence survivors. And then of course the Ashland Community Kitchen is another one of our largest partners. And then so everybody has their, you know, regular day, but then we also have agencies, or what we consider overflow agencies, and those are if we have a day like this, which is, you know, a lot of produce, they will get called. And then of course garden days, and then if we have, you know, if the King's Daughters in Bellefonte have their annual food feud, which brought in about 20,000 pounds of food, of canned food, everybody gets called then. If River Cities Harvest is able to make a purchase throughout the year, then everybody gets called. So, you know, we do have a method to our madness. So we'll try to make sure that we distribute the resources as best we can. Well, this location is wonderful for several reasons. One is, the neighborhood is a catch-all name that I think that everybody recognizes. It plays well into the fact that a lot of the organizations, as far as the dressing room, the community kitchen, CARES, Clean Start, are all located right here. River Cities Harvest doesn't really hand directly out to the public, but I think that because we're located here, I think that it's comforting to know that I think our clients see all this food coming in and all this food going out. So I think that they know that, we are out there doing our best to get food in, to get food out, and that, we're out there pounding the pavement and doing all that we can to ensure that, we are supplying everybody. And a lot of these individuals that are coming here to the neighborhood are going to our partner agencies to get their food. And so we are stocking the pantries that they go to on a regular basis. So I think that seeing this on an everyday basis, sort of puts their mind at ease. We have a new website now, which is rivercitiesharvest.org. And so anytime anybody wants to know any information about our organization, please visit there. We do have a donation button. And of course, our Facebook is very active. We post daily on there. So anytime that we are requesting people to do a food drive, we love when people do food drives for us. And they're very easy. Everybody sort of shies away from that because they think they're very complicated, but they're not. So we have food barrels we can drop off for people, and we'll even come and get the food for you. And we have an annual fundraiser, Trail Run Against Hunger, which is coming up on August 6th at Greenbow Lake. And then, of course, the neighborhood in general has two big fundraisers every year, which is the Golf Scramble, which we just had, and then, of course, the Wine and Bourbon Ball, which is on New Year's, which I am actually the chairperson of this year, which is a really, a good time. So anytime anybody wants to come and check us out on Facebook or the website, we would love to have some visitors that way and come down and volunteer. We love new faces.
I'm Tammy McIntyre, I'm the manager, and this is, of course, the dressing room. This is our little area out here that it's set up like a little store, This is actually where it comes to last. It comes in the back door from the dock. Then we pull it through to the sorting room, and we go through it because some things are stained and dirty, and obviously, we have to get rid of some of the stuff because as you will see as you go through, we're kind of stacked up, but that's a blessing, But we serve probably 75 to 100 families a day, and some of those families have 6, 8, 10. Some just have 1 or 2, but you got to go through CARES and get a neighborhood card, but anybody can have one. You just got to take in like bank statements. The same thing that they would take in like if they were signing up for food stamp assistance, and they'll give you a little card, and when they give you the actual card, it tells how many's in your family, and you have to have it every time you come in and show your ID. Each family can get like 7 outfits per child per week, but and then we have to limit like the hygiene things, and like the blankets we give away usually 1 blanket and 1 throw per year for family, because that's what we are usually limited on, that we don't have as much of. The back here, we can do it without volunteers. I mean, we have a good group that heads up when we do all the fundraisers. We have 2 or 3 that are all the time involved. Then we have 1 lady that comes every single evening and checks the dock to make sure people drop off after hours. We usually have a pretty good group, and we have kids coming from the high schools, church groups. Okay. Thank God for that, because that helps a lot. Because there's just us, and like I said, Lucy's here part-time, so she usually leaves around 12, 1 o'clock. And then we have the other lady, she's only here a few days a week because she's like 15, 20 hours. So if we didn't have the volunteers, I mean, we couldn't do it. We see a lot of people that's down and out, and then, end up changing their lives. It kind of blows your mind when you see all these people, because it tugs at your heart. If you have a heart at all, you see some of these people, you get used to them, because of course we have the same people a lot, that comes in weekly, of course. And then they start telling you about, I'm having this test, that test. You just get to know them like it's like a personal one-on-one. And it's, I don't know, the feeling of helping somebody that's down and out, it's just unreal. And you see these girls come through that otherwise wouldn't be able to go to prom, and we do the promenade, you know, that brings in all these different dresses people donate. And then they get to come in and try on, and we try to fit them up with the shoes and the jewelry. And just to see their faces, you know, they otherwise wouldn't be able to go, you know, because that's an expensive thing. You know, anybody that's got girls or boys, but girls especially, you realize, you know, at prom time, you put out quite a bit of money. It all works together so good. It really does. I mean, you can send them, you know, they'll say, you know, do you have, if it's somebody like saying they're passing through or something, we always make sure we get them a hygiene bag with toothpaste, toothbrush, you know, the stuff, because you know they don't have a whole lot, because they'll come in sometime and say, you know, I don't have a card, but I need a pair of shoes, you know, I'm traveling through, and of course we try to set them up, you know, with what we can.
My name is Faith Watson. I'm assistant manager. We cook meals for the hungry. We average anywhere from 100 to 200 meals a day. And we also make meals for the Meals on Wheels program. They need to go to CARES and they get an ID card, and they can get services at any place in the building. Clothing closet, the Clean Start, or here. And we provide them a free meal when they come in here at lunch. And then we serve dinner twice a week, Tuesday and Wednesday, from 4:15 to 5:30. On the evening meal, we serve around 100 each night. I've been here 4 years. Diane's been here 20. Yes, and I enjoy my job. I love to help people, and there's a lot of hungry people around, and it's good to know that they can come here and get a nice, nutritious meal to eat. We have to rely a lot on donations and volunteers, but that's okay. I'm learning how to cook leftovers. Outback and Chick-fil-A, they help us a lot. They send a lot of donations for us to use. I love the fact that people can come in here and get clothing. They can get, there's a Pathways place now they can go for help. CARES can help them with their utilities, places to live, or give them referrals. And we can help them with a hot meal.
My name is Samantha Carter. I'm the director here at Ashland Area Presbyterian Ministries, and we have a location here at the neighborhood called Clean Start, where we offer 2 shower facilities every day, and we also offer free haircuts. We also offer personal hygiene supplies every day and cleaning supplies every Friday morning. And we also offer mailboxes for people who don't have a permanent address, so they can receive their mail here. So they're able to apply for government assistance and anything else they may need, especially with cell phones. Just last month, we actually offered 171 showers and 66 haircuts for the month. And that's our main services, and also to provide hygiene products every day. Those are the things that we go through the most, and we always accept donations. We always need help with volunteers or with hygiene product donations. And you can pull right up to our back door with donations, and we'll take them in. It's usually businesses. Sometimes we get individuals, but a lot of times businesses will set up a basket at their workplace, which is a great idea, and have the employees do like a hygiene drive. We run out of soap and shampoo very quickly. Some of our funds every week goes to hygiene products, and they're usually gone by the end of the week. So it goes very fast, and it's always needed and always appreciated. The partnership that we have with everybody else makes all of us run better. CARES is like the clearinghouse. They do the intake and assign neighborhood cards, and that way we learn more about, you know, our clients, their families. But we all work together. We work really, really close as a group. I mean, we could stand on our own, but I can't imagine doing that. Now that we're here, you know, and being a part of this, we just flow together so well. And especially with the free haircuts, you don't realize how much a haircut, what that costs, you know, what a burden it can be to some people. So the fact that it is free helps so much. And we do free back to school haircuts too. Obviously all the cuts are free, but we do a big week before school starts for the kids to get haircuts. But it really changes things for people. It helps them get a job, you know, it helps them feel more confident. Right now we have 3 hairdressers that volunteer. We're all licensed, and we're a fully licensed beauty salon. So all of us are master stylists. One of our hairstylists has done hair in her own shop for over 30 years. So, and one is the anchor stylist for one of the bigger salons here in Ashland. You know, people come in every day and want a haircut. And sometimes we're able to do that, you know, and then the days we don't have volunteers, but, you know, we're not able to do that. And that's where the hair certificates come in to go down to the beauty college. And we've seen so many things. First week of May was ACTC's graduation, and we had somebody come in that wanted the haircut because he was getting ready to graduate. That means a lot, you know.
So I'm Ronnie Nunley, the Director of Organizational Development for Pathways. And Pathways is a community behavioral health center that serves 10 counties in Northeast Kentucky. And last fiscal year, we served over 15,000 unduplicated clients with behavioral health services, intellectual and developmental disability services, and with substance abuse services. And we do the entire continuum from prevention to recovery. And that includes intervention and treatment along that continuum. This is actually a very small part, but some of our newest programs that we've been able to add to Pathways. Here in the neighborhood, which we're delighted to be here, by the way, we have the Tailored Project, which is sponsoring the DROP, and that's for transitioning age youth, 16 to 25. And they can fill out an application and come and receive services. They can also help to get their GED, to look at college prep. They're going to have a computer program here. And it's really serving those youth that sometimes society forgets about. Often when young people turn 18, we say, lots of luck, there you go, now you're an adult, find your way. And this program is really designed to help those youth find their way and to find employment or to find out if they do want to go on to college or to a trade, and to provide a safe place to receive services, come to group. We have a lot of youth peer mentors who have lived experience, so they've had services, they're on the road to recovery, and they can reach out and help other youth. We have a sister center in Moorhead called The Drop, and they're currently serving about 26 kids with that program. It's highly successful, and we're actually offering technical assistance to other programs throughout the United States. We're excited because Ashland is one of 2 sites in Kentucky that were selected to offer this program. Well, the neighborhood is just an unduplicated resource for the community, and they reach out to all age groups, and Pathways, in fact, serves pre-birth to death with some of our programs. So that was a big plus, that it serves the entire community. Also, the location, it's very central, so if youth don't have transportation, it's close to bus lines, it's close to the hub of downtown Ashland, so it makes access really easy. The other thing, there are ancillary services offered here, so that if we need to refer kids or they need to refer folks, there's kind of a reciprocal relationship. And then the second program that we're housing here is called A-STAR, and that's Adolescent Substance Abuse Treatment and Recovery Services. And that was for a special grant to offer specialized services to adolescents with substance abuse problems. So often that's a population that's overlooked, or we have some systems in denial that would say that, you know, we don't have a lot of youth with substance abuse problems, and in fact we do. So we're trying to reduce the stigma and say, if you have a problem, come and get some help, but get specialized help for young people. And so that service will be offered here as well. And then we have a homeless outreach coordinator who will be housed here. And his job really is to outreach to the homeless, especially if they have behavioral health issues or substance abuse issues. And people often ask, which come first, homelessness or the problems? And if you're homeless, it doesn't matter which came first. What matters is that you have access to services and resources if you want to improve your life. So he was already networking with all of the different agencies here. here to help his clients get connected. So that was kind of a natural step to have him housed here so that he can help his clients hook into resources to find housing and to get on the road to recovery. One of the big things that Pathways tries to do is break down those barriers to receiving services, and being here is a part of that. But there is a great deal of stigma around receiving behavioral health services or addiction services. And I often say to folks, wouldn't it be a shame if someone in your family needed help and would not pick up the phone and call to get help because of the way you felt about receiving those services? So we just really need to understand that people in need of behavioral health services and addiction services are us. They're our families. They're our community members. We go to Walmart with them. We go to the bank with them. We go to the church with them. And yet often they suffer in silence because of the stigma attached to receiving services, and we want to break down that stigma. And part of being here is being able to say, we're all a community, we have all of these resources, take advantage of them and get on the road to recovery, improve yourself and improve the community.
My name's Kathy Anderson, and I'm a registered nurse at the Ashland Wood County Health Department. I've been a nurse for 38 years, but I've been a public health nurse for 25. And the job of the health department is to protect the public, to protect our community. And we have found in the last few years with the increase in substance abuse in our community that we have a problem. So what the health department does is it's our job to, again, to protect our community from disease and to educate the public. And, we have our vaccine programs, we have our family planning clinics. I go into the schools, I teach a lot about tobacco education, so prevention is a huge part of what we do. So when we saw a few years ago that we saw our substance abuse numbers start to rise dramatically, saw that heroin was becoming a real issue in the community. Behind that, we saw that our hepatitis C rates were starting to explode. And at the time, hepatitis C was a huge concern because there was no cure. We do have a cure now, but it's very expensive. So again, this is going to be a huge drain on the taxpayer dollar when we try to medicate and to treat all these people. So we started hearing, and the state of Kentucky started hearing about all these needle exchange programs in other parts of the country and how they were starting to see really great results in the decrease in disease spread from dirty needles with our substance abusers. So we did some investigation. We saw some programs in Ohio. We saw some other programs in Kentucky that started before we did and saw the great improvement that they were having. So the state of Kentucky passed a law that said that if we gave clean syringes to substance abusers, there would be no legal consequences. So July 1, in this room, we will be starting a needle exchange program for our community. I've had positive and negative feedback from that. Some people say, well, aren't you enabling drug abusers? And I say, I don't think so. I said, I'm out there protecting me. I'm a health caregiver. I'm protecting my grandkids when they're in Central Park and they're playing so that there are no dirty needles in the grass. I'm protecting other healthcare workers, dental hygienists, dentists, EMT workers, the police, because if we can convince those substance abusers to use a clean needle that we will supply and come back in a week and return that dirty needle to us and get new supplies, then that problem is going to be contained. So I'm excited, I'm really passionate about hoping that this will work for our community. I'm from this neighborhood. I grew up, this being Johnson's Dairy, so I've watched this place evolve over the years. And I honestly don't think there's another place in the whole United States like this. It's like a mall. You walk in and you have these beautiful facilities that each of them address another concern for this segment of our community. You can come here and have your lunch. You can get some clean clothes for the week. You can have a shower, you can get a haircut. There's even mailboxes here. You can come to this CARES facility here and they can help you with your food issues, your rent, utilities, and everyone wants to be a part and contribute to society. And not everyone that comes here is just lazy and doesn't want to work. There's been something in their life that's put them here. And so they want to be loved, they want respect, they want some dignity, and this is the best place to come. And I just, when we thought about doing our needle exchange program, I thought, this is a segment of the population that I know needs us, and if we do a good job here, maybe we can get other segments of our population to buy into our program, because not everybody that's a substance abuser is down on their luck. I get phone calls all the time from parents saying, Kathy, remember me? You know, we went to school together, or we're on a council together, and my son or my daughter's got a substance abuse problem. Can you help me? So these are, you know, middle class families that have kids that are struggling with substance abuse too. And so everybody that's a substance abuser is somebody's mom, somebody's dad, their brother, their sister, their child. And so they've got somebody that loves them. And so I want to be there for them, to give them back their dignity, give them some respect. And when they see my face every week and we develop a relationship, maybe one of those times I'm handing over their clean supplies and I say, hey, have you ever thought about getting into recovery to get well? And one time, maybe they'll go to Pathways over here and say, yeah, I'm ready to quit the drugs.
So our service area is the tri-state area. So we see people from West Virginia, definitely Lawrence County. We service a lot of people from across the river, Greenup, Carter. So every other agency, you get the CARES card, you can use the services. And that includes Pathways also. Well, right now, we're full. We are at capacity with the new Pathways build out. But what we have here is what they call a betterment program, which you can come in here today and be better for it leaving. And we are now in more of a development stage. So with that saying, so how does Todd come in and not only get his basic needs met, but help him develop a need for housing, a need for medical and stuff like that, and how do we move these people from maybe a poverty level to where they don't have to use this facility at all. So we're looking at housing opportunities, and again, we are just in the infant stage of that. Maybe buying other property and doing some small houses, and nationwide we are under a housing shortage, clean, affordable housing shortage. So that's what we're trying to develop into stuff like that. And we work with all different agencies. I mean, this is just what's under one roof. But Shelter of Hope, a reentry council, Pathways has a number of different things that they offer. But that's what we want to do. We want to take it to the next step where we're actually developing the client where they can actually be out on their own and make it. And a big chunk of that is housing. I cannot find too many places like this that exist for basic needs being met under one roof. There's a lot of places where you can come and get administrative assistance and moving paper under one facility. But I'd say we are kind of an incubator for the rest of the nation as to what we have set up here right now. Here's some of the things that we do here that people don't see. So on Sunday nights we have, through the Department of Corrections, we teach classes that help people that are coming back into society from incarceration. It not only helps them get their parole time reduced, but it might give them living skills that they've never been taught, or maybe an inward look at themselves so they can better say, okay, there's something in me that I don't like, or there's something that I've learned here that I don't like about myself and I want to change it. So those are just some of the opportunities that we offer, you know, other than just what we do. We also, on Sunday nights, there's a ministry called Seed and Feed, and they've been in existence for 3 years. And every Sunday night they come in and they have a caterer that does the meal, and we minister to people on Sunday nights, upwards to about 100 people every Sunday night. So the thing about Ashland too is you can get a hot meal every day of the week in our city here. So success, you know, we are involved in the 55 and older employment, you know, jobs. We see people, because our boards are made up of, you know, presidents and vice presidents of banks and loan officers, and we have government officials, we have judge exec tellers on our boards and stuff like that. When we see people that come in, like working with transitions over here, they house state and federal inmates, and they come out and they have to get jobs and they have to do community service. So some of our success rate in that is we come and let them do community service. And the neat thing about that is when they do community service, and let's say they've done it for 6 months here and they've showed up on time, then I can call Texas Roadhouse or the people that employ people that have been incarcerated and say, hey, we've got a great opportunity for you. We've got somebody that has been here volunteering their time. They're a great worker. They need an opportunity. So those are some of the ways that we track success, is where we are actually plugging people into jobs and moving them on from, you know, like all of us, we've made mistakes. So we see a lot of that is how we measure our success. I think between the dressing room and the kitchen, they probably do 1,500 volunteer hours monthly. So if it wasn't for our volunteers, we wouldn't exist. Just, there's no way we could do it. First of all, just get down here and see the place. I think it's pretty contagious once you walk through the doors. And really be proud of this, you know, small community and the mindset that they had to put this together. I mean, I'm just a recipient of what people dreamed 14 years ago. So my charge would used to be come down here and educate yourself to what's going on in the community. You know, more often than not, we hear transitions where they're housing ex-offenders, and we're saying, you know, well, they're the ones causing the problems in our community. And every time those people come back to transitions, they are breathalyzer and drug test. Every time they come back. They are the ones that are trying to make our community better. They are trying to live within the bounds of our community, and you know, they have some guidelines there that they have to stay within. So just changing the mindset or the stereotype that really isn't always true. 9 times out of 10 it's not true. You know, just to come down here and understand that we have elderly people in here using this facility because their spouse passed and they just had survival benefits, and they have no way of making it if we don't provide them a meal. We have people come in here and say, you know, the food and everything's great, but I come down for the handshake and the hugs and the smiles. So great opportunity to come down here as far as a call to action and just be a body and build a relationship with somebody that doesn't look and act like you. If you needed to contact us, the best way to do it is go to our website, which is theneighborhood-ashland.org. And all the links to all the different agencies within the neighborhood are on that page. And that's the best way to see what's going on, what fundraisers are going on, opportunity to serve and volunteer. So all that is up current, and you know, you can find out there. You can always call the neighborhood here, which is 606-327-5577. And that's another way that you can call down and volunteer. Some agencies have volunteer forms that you have to fill out. And there's a number of different ways to volunteer down here, from yard work to folding clothes to serving lunch. to driving and getting food picked up for River City Harvest, administrative stuff through CARES. You know, there's a lot of different ways to be involved down here.